wanted known.
Oh, goodness. I stay on ready. Under around, but I'm ready. I don't blame you. Being talked about.
All right, folks, we're going to get back with our scheduled agenda under item 6. I know visitors to address our council, Mike and Melissa Daughter. I didn't know if they were in the audience, and if not, we will make sure that they show up for the planning and zoning meeting, which is tomorrow. So as a point of reference for the record, that's not a council action vote. I think the Daughtery family wanted to discuss a planning and zoning action. Again, this is for Mike and Melissa Daughtery. Again, that's not a council action. It's a planning and zoning action and matter. Item 7 under unfinished business is a second reading of conditional use to place fill material in the floodplain at 229 and 231 3rd Street. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This request comes from LSJ Parker and Nancy Beeler Development. They are requesting conditional use approval to place fill material in the floodplain at 229 and 231 3rd Street. The petitioner is proposing to place the fill material in the floodplain to increase the buildable area. That does require a recommendation from the Planning Commission, which they have made a favorable recommendation, and approval from the City Council. Frank Summers with TTL is here if the council should have any questions.
Mayor and Council, didn't know if, Frank, come on up, but I didn't know if Mayor and Council had questions regarding. I know, Tony, you're our rep, so if there were questions from the Mayor and Council.
I don't think so. I think all the questions were answered for the first reading.
Yep.
I realize I wasn't here for them, but I understand we covered everything there, and appreciate Frank coming to Planning and Zoning to discuss that, because the first pre-meeting we were a little confused.
I don't have any.
I think there was just one note. Sorry, Julie, we talked about the difference between us filling in the floodplain and what the other regulatory body requires, and we were perhaps going to address that so we don't have to do this twice.
We are.
Okay.
All right.
We're good.
Okay.
I'll make that motion.
All right, that's a motion by Councilman Roberts. I will second. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
All right, Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
Council President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Second item is a second reading annexing .9 acres located at 6720 Flatwoods Road. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This request comes from Mr. Robert E. Hall. They do request annexation of almost 1 acre at 6720 Flatwoods Road. Mr. Hall is requesting the annexation to continue to receive city services. The petition does meet all requirements for annexation. It does come with a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission, and the initial zoning will be agricultural.
All right, thank you. Is there a motion to grant the request to annex?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Roberts, second by Councilman Hogg. Is that right?
Yes. Correct.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Third item is a second reading annexing approximately 2.5 acres located at 9750 Tom Taylor Road. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. This request comes from Mr. Sergio Reyes. He does request annexation in order to receive city services. The initial zoning will be agricultural, and it does come with a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission.
Thank you. Is there a motion to grant the request annexing 2.5 acres?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
All right, motion carried.
New business, 8B1 is a resolution authorizing a special permit for the 2019 Kentuck Arts Festival. I know, Mr. McGee, if you wanted to give us a brief summation.
This is a request from the Kentuck Association for the Kentuck Festival of the Arts to grant a special permit for the sale of alcohol, craft beer specifically, at the festival on the 12th and the 13th of October. I think this is about the third year that this has been requested and granted prior.
Thank you, Mr. McGee. I'll make a motion to adopt a resolution authorizing a special permit used for the Kentuck Association regarding possession, sale, consumption of alcohol in Kentuck Park, October 12th and 13th, 2019. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
No.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Second item's been deleted. Third item is a resolution authorizing our Northport Police Department to participate in the Community Officers Traffic Safety Program grant. Chief Burton.
Yes, sir. This is an agreement with the agency so that we could receive funds to work traffic enforcement details. That's 100%. All the hours that the officers work are 100% refundable through this grant.
Thank you, Chief. I'll make a motion to approve that resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Roberts. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Carried.
Item 4 is a resolution accepting change order number 1 for Clearwell joint repairs at water treatment plants. John Powell.
Yes, President Logan. This is for the project we approved on July 1st for the joint repair in the roof. When the project began, we realized that as they started into it, that all the joints of the roof ended up having to be replaced as we got into the project. It's a change order for that.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Roberts. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 5 is a resolution awarding the bid for Union Chapel Road Pump Station improvements. Mr. Webb.
Yes, President Logan, this was part of our 2019 capital improvement projects. We took bids on August 15th and like to award it without any of the deductive alternates to Double Diamond Construction. They were lowest bidder.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Hogg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Roberts. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
All right, Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 6 is a resolution authorizing an agreement with ESO Solutions Incorporated for NFIRS and HER compliant reporting software. This is out of Chief Marshall and Fire Department. Chief?
Yes, sir. This is a renewal agreement for our reporting software with ESO Solutions.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve the resolution?
Motion to approve.
That's a motion by Councilman Hogg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 7 is a resolution authorizing our city administrator's office to enter into an agreement with the West Alabama Regional Commission for our GIS services and software administration. Mr. McCullum?
This is simply a renewal of our GIS system that, provides information for all our technical folks, both, in utilities, engineering, and community planning as well.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Roberts. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCollum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Carried.
Item number 8 is a resolution authorizing our city administrator's office to enter into an agreement with Cellco Partnership doing business as Verizon Wireless. Mr. Murphy?
Yes, City of Northport is partnering with Verizon to build out a new private network for our city's utilities infrastructure.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
Like that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Davis, second by Councilman Roberts. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCollum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Item 9 has been deleted, ladies and gentlemen. Item 10 is a resolution authorizing our mayor's office to execute an agreement for stop-loss insurance. Mr. Rose?
Yes, sir. Mr. President, as you know, the city's employees' health insurance is a self-funded plan. And for those claims that are over $75,000, we have stop-loss reinsurance. And this will authorize the city to enter in a contractual agreement with Wills RE Optum through Cobbs Allen, who is our broker on that. And we've had a couple of bad years on our claims, but I can see some light at the end of the tunnel. So just asking for your consideration on that.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I'll make that.
I'll make that in the form of a motion, second by Councilman Roberts. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCollum.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
And Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 11 is a resolution declaring certain items, electronics, and furniture surplus and authorizing their proper disposal. Ms. Starnes?
Yes, sir. This is a toolbox, office furniture, and some electronics that has reached their useful life.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCollum.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 12 is a resolution awarding bid file 19-08 for lawn maintenance. Ms. Ram.
Yes, sir. The city took bids and opened those on September the 4th for weed abatement services. The low bidder, Fuller Lawn Service LLC, had a low bid of $40 per hour. This will be for a 12-month period, and any invoices, any costs incurred by the city, we will in turn ask the city council to place liens on those responsible property owners to recoup our costs.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Roberts. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCollum.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 13 is a resolution amending city council minutes for January 28, 2019. Mr. Davis.
Yes, Mr. President, this is simply just a housekeeping measure. This amends the minutes to reflect the adoption of ordinance 1987 at that meeting.
Thank you. Is there a motion to adopt the resolution?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Roberts. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Davis. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCollum.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
President Logan.
Yes.
Councilman Davis.
Yes.
Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Item 14 is a resolution authorizing our city administrator's office to enter into a reimbursement agreement between the city of Northport and 1871 LLC. Mr. Davis?
Yes, Mr. President, this is something that Judge McCollum's been working on to sort out the costs that should be incurred by the city, the costs that should be incurred by 1871 in connection of the sewer south of the 1871 property, which is just west of Lowe's on Highway 82. This keeps the matter separate. The bid with Dominion, and they've now begun work. Part of that will be reimbursed, about half of that will be reimbursed to the city by 1871. 1871 has already done work out there that would be normally incurred by the city, and this allows the city to reimburse them the amount of $44,239.90.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to adopt that resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
and Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Item C is our consent agenda. We have 31 items. They range from minutes of the previous meeting on July 29th, bill listings, PO requisitions, of course, through legal and various departments, and travel and training requests. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as printed?
I'll make that motion.
That's a motion by Councilman Roberts. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Hogg. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, Mr. McCullum.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
President Logan,
Yes.
Councilman Davis,
Yes.
and Councilman Hogg.
Yes.
All right, motion carried.
Item 9, reports of special committees of council. If any member of council or the mayor's office wanted to give a brief update regarding their respective committee. Well, I did want to give one. I know in retail committee, we've submitted some information for the consideration of council members regarding our proposed facade improvement program. So that still is in the phase of digestion, of course, and looking at some ways to improve it. So I think council and the mayor's office are going to be looking at that in the next few weeks to maybe get with staff and maybe tighten up some of the language in the proposed ordinance. So again, it's just a very rough draft, and I think members of council, if you had any questions or concerns, of course, please alert it, and we will make sure we add or take away from the actual language in the proposed facade improvement policy. Again, not a specific timetable on when we can present it publicly, but I think we're in the working phase, working through it. So that's, unless Councilman Hogg, unless you had something out of retail further.
Not tonight.
All right. Any further reports of special committees to council? All right. Item 10 is public hearings. We have none on the agenda. Item 11, city administrator's business. Mr. McCullum, did you have any business?
I don't have any business, but I would like to say thank you to the department heads for all the cooperation and accepting, tolerating their new interim administrator.
Thank you, Judge. Item 12, departmental business. We have one item in our police department. Chief Burton, I think there's a recognition in order for our narcotics task force.
Yes, sir, absolutely. We are a part of the West Alabama Narcotics Task Force, which consists of the Tuscaloosa Sheriff's Office, Tuscaloosa County Sheriff's Office, Tuscaloosa Police Department, and Captain Simpson is here to represent Tuscaloosa Police Department, the University of Alabama, and our department. And they've recently been awarded a recognition for, I think, the 2019 Achievement Award of Excellence from the Alabama Narcotics Association. And I just wanted to recognize them. We have our agents, Lieutenant Kimmerl and Sergeant Little, here as well. But these guys work hard when we are not awake, I guess, sometimes. They go in places that we normally don't want to go in, and they keep us safe. They take a lot of narcotics off the street and a lot of guns off the street for us. Want to take time to recognize them and congratulate them on their award.
Absolutely, Chief. Captain, I don't know if you want to come up and say a few words, but we appreciate what you guys do every day. I know it's tough being in law enforcement. I really appreciate what I know the public does, and I know we all appreciate it, what you guys do. Yeah, please.
I just want to say thank you to the council and to Chief Burton for your recognizing these guys' hard work. I get to lead some very stellar law enforcement officers who do work that a lot of other law enforcement officers don't want to or can't do. And the impact is great. The impact is not necessarily always seen. We don't publicize a lot of what we do for very obvious reasons, but the impact that we make is an impact on the children that are affected by this and by the family members that are affected by people who have an addiction. People who have an addiction are not just affecting themselves. They're not just ruining their lives. They're ruining the lives of their family, the children around them, the people that see them. And then there's also other crimes that go that fall hand in hand and as a result of their addiction. And so, while we don't operate in the forefront, we don't operate publicly a lot of times, the impact that these guys make, the hard work that they do, is very well felt when it comes to the families and the children that are affected by the addiction that grips our society with drugs, both legal drugs that are being misused and illegal narcotics. And I appreciate the recognition. I appreciate Chief Burton and his rabid support for our unit and his officers, these Northport guys that do an incredible job, good supervisors for us, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain. I appreciate what you guys do. I'm telling you, that's a tough job. Pray for you every day. No further departmental business. We'll move right into item 13, which is public comment. We had one citizen sign to speak, Mr. Richard Hall. Good evening, Mr. Hall. Please state your name and address for the record.
Richard Hall, 13050 Rolling Meadows Circle in Hidden Meadows off Rose Boulevard. I thank the council and the mayor for letting me come and speak to you. I'm coming to you just simply as a concerned citizen. Chief Burton is aware, and Mr. Hogg is aware of an issue that came up June 30th, a dog bite, vicious dog bite. Neighbor dog walking through the neighborhood. I got bit. Filed a police report, did what I was supposed to do, went and got examined by a physician. A report was filed with the county commission, or the health department rather. Found out after several weeks that the dog didn't have rabies or anything like that, which is great. But the case apparently was dismissed by the city prosecutor, which is unusual because I know that the council, Mr. Hogg, and others that were involved in a great deal of time and effort to strengthen the ordinance that has to do with dog bite issues. The reason I'm concerned is because I wasn't even contacted by the prosecutor to ask what happened. There was photo evidence of my bite, and there was information I brought regarding the veterinarian bill for my dog. This particular dog, I believe, was a pit bull. It may have been a mix. But the reason I wanted to come to the council is my house is there on the upper end of Rolling Meadow Circle, right next to the playground. There are several families that bring small children from that neighborhood all through Hidden Meadows. They go up to that playground and play. I don't know if this particular family and dog has been dealt with, moved, whatever the case may be. But what concerned me was is after all the effort you guys went through as a council and the mayor to strengthen this ordinance, apparently nothing was done about it. What was interesting to me was that it was explained to me that this was perhaps an ideal case to bring to set a precedent as to how to go forward. Because talking with Sergeant Gusowitz, the code enforcement officer, nothing had been brought to the council or to the city like this. And so what I want to do is to encourage the council, having taken this time and effort to strengthen this particular ordinance, is to ask some questions. I don't know if Mr. Hogg had got any information about it. I hadn't heard back from you. I didn't know if you'd learned any more about that particular case with the prosecutor or not. But it struck me as a bit strange as for them to dismiss the case and not even contact me as someone that had gotten bitten. And so
It was
I wouldn't want that.
two separate instances, correct?
It's two different instances. I'll explain. I was going to make a short version, but I got bit on the 30th by this dog. 3 days later, same dog, same order, comes back through the neighborhood in front of my house. His dog broke loose. He had it on a leash, broke loose, came across into my garage, attacked my dog, drug it across the street, and was in the process of trying to kill it. So I don't know what other case could be brought to the city prosecutor that would fit what I would think would be the requirements for that particular ordinance. If this case doesn't meet the requirements of that ordinance, I don't know which case would, unless a small child gets mauled. And so I don't know what the council's thinking is about that, but I'm pretty sure that having spent the time and effort you did, and I got a copy of the document of that ordinance, it's pretty serious with regard to the time you guys spent on trying to strengthen it. It was my understanding that previous ordinance was pretty weak, and it basically just wound up being a reprimand to the pet owner. So I encourage you to, if you don't know about it, ask Mr. Hogg here or ask Chief Burton. I want to compliment Chief Burton. I made several trips to the police department, couldn't get information. Turns out that the case had not even been submitted to the municipal court. It had to do with vacation time. The city prosecutor was away. Sergeant Gusowitz was on vacation. I understand that. But I was there inquiring about it, and he came walking by, and I explained my situation. He invited me to his office. We sat down and we had a conversation. And he made it clear to me that this seemed to be an ideal case simply to set a precedent on how to go forward. So it's a concern of mine as simply someone who's lived in Northport for 40 plus years. I can only imagine these cases must come up from time to time. Dog bite cases, probably not that unusual. But how you approach them and how you deal with them going forward is going to be important. I don't know what the liability to the city is. That's why you took the time to strengthen the ordinance. Do any of you have any questions about that? Otherwise, I've said what I wanted to say.
And thank you, Mr. Hall, for coming up and explaining that situation. Of course, unfortunate that it was and that happened to you. And again, I don't want to give you any information that may be outside of legal channel because I'm not in a position to do so. But